Hi, um, welcome to another program. Today we have a strange topic to cover. It's about Turkey and Egypt and a geopolitical compass. Once we were looking at all the um, uh, statements from the governments or government agencies, what we have uh, seen is that the leaders are putting themselves in a corner where there is no exit strategy, or that's what we are, or we have already started thinking. If you look at from the Turkish perspective, there are a lot of things Turkeys are claiming that they are going to do. And once we are now looking at from the perspective of Egypt, we see also the President Sisi and his statements that they are not going to also give up their interest. So the statements doesn't give any kind of clue if the leaders of the countries have any exit strategy in their mind, and that's what we are going to talk about today. So, without any further delay, let's discuss. Turkey and Egypt really start digging deeper into supporting their own sites or proxies without any really exit strategy. Once it's expected, let's say, once a country's plans to intervene or invade a country, the leaders should also have in their mind an exit strategy. Some scholars agree that it is not possible to do so because once you go into the deeper side of the country, you will have other dimensions of the conflict that not going to give you the strategy, or it's not going to enable the strategy to happen, to realize. And that's really important to remember. But what we have also recognized as an example of U.S. invading Afghanistan, they have really invaded Afghanistan without any kind of exit strategy, and that has given U.S. To really be operative, let's say, in Afghanistan almost for 3 decades. And that's also important to remember. And really, that's what we are also believing, that if the countries, they do not have any kind of exit strategy before they intervene any kind of country out of their own land, most likely it will be a disaster. And either for Turkey or Egypt, Libya might be a real problem, a real hell for both of the countries. Now, let's go from the perspective of Turkey and GNA, or the Government of National Accord. Now, what Sisi, UAE, Saudi, and Russia wants Turkey and GNA to accept is the control of the finance. So once they are going to agree that they are not going to pass on the east side of the Sirte or to the west side of Egypt, let's say, the border, it means that all the terminals will be under the influence and control of LNA and the Haftar forces, which means that they are going to also control the finance of GNA. Turkey and Sahter, the government, National Government Accord, they will not accept this. They have already said they are going to reject, and they have already rejected this. The second thing is that for Turkey, it's very important a physical border on the maritime between Libya and Turkey. Now, the problem is here, Egypt and Greece, they try to now negotiate a maritime border. And if that happens, it is going to cut the line between Turkey and Libya. So it means that Turkey needs to traverse all its maritime route due to the water claimed by Egypt. And Turkey cannot accept that either. And once this is happening, this gives us a real problem. We already see that either Turkey or neither Turkey nor Egypt are going to leave their claims aside. They have no exit strategy in their minds. From perspective of Turkey and mostly all the country, it is not possible to understand Egypt's and what is there in their mind. There is one thing that everybody understands. Egypt has a security concern. That's why they are trying to secure their own land by trying to intervene as much as possible. That's the first thing that we, as Turkey and I am even Turks, understanding. But the thing that we do not understand why they are doing this with the support of other countries, which is not even border or which has no border even to this region, like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and also why they are involving Greece to that problem. I mean, Libya is not a Greek problem. It is nothing to do, and the Haftar and Sakhtar, or the Haftar and Sajdar problem, or the GNA or LNA problem has nothing to do with Greece. That's from the Turkish mind. It is even, we do not understand why Greece is trying to intervene in that regard or taking a position. There are two Muslim groups there, and even they don't have the religious, mutuality, or there is no mutual ground even in the language, genetics, ethnics, nothing, religious even nothing. Greece is getting involved in that, and only we do understand due to the maritime problem. This is what we only understand. But they are pushing Egypt to confront Turkey, that Turks really get annoyed with Greeks and Egypt. From the perspective of Egyptian, the story is much more different. The story is the Neo-Ottomans, or Erdogan, is trying to have a big step in Libya and control all the sources of the resources, the energy resources, the gas, and especially the oil, where they are going to have a sufficient line in order to support the Turkish economy. Because once you have a cheaper energy, it means that you are going to invest in more area because of the surplus of the money due to the previous amount of payment that you are paying to other countries. Secondly, it's going to break the ties between the Turks and the Russian. Turkey is very much dependent to Russian oil resources and also gas resources. If this happens, it is going to diminish the Turkish dependency or energy dependency to Russia. That's why we see also Russians backing up the Haftar forces. That's understandable. And also, Egypt doesn't want this, because if the Turks will be there, the next steps might be, in the Egyptians' mind, is because of the Mursi, that Erdogan and Mursi has a close relationship, Turkey might get involved with the Sinai Peninsula problem, because there are a lot of supporters of Mursi over there, and still Erdogan has a fancy about it. That's why Egypt is very much concerned about it. Egypt will be or has to utilize the tribes along the Egyptian and Libyan border in order to legitimize its intervention into the Libya, the mainland. Otherwise, they don't have any kind of support or reasonable support. And most likely, this is how it's going to take place. We have been reading that the Egypt is trying to raise $60 to $65 billion in order to support this intervention in the mainland. But what we have been seeing, that nobody is thinking or leaving a door aside, or open at least, or even a back channel of the diplomacy, in order to have an exit strategy. And this is very disappointing for me, not only from the Turkish side, but also from the Egyptian side, that both countries' leaders are putting themselves in a corners, and they have the claims that not all of them can be sustained. That's granted, but even they don't leave at this moment a room for negotiation, a room for maneuver if the things will get awkward or not as desired as they want, not from Turkey or also from the Egyptian side too. And this is the main risk that I have been seeing, because even though we do not believe that the Egyptians, or the Egyptians' main army or the force, will come to confront the main Turkish force, but they will confront for sure the Turkey's backed proxies over there. But there is a risk still existing. If such risk becomes realized, becomes real, and losses from one side or both sides will be met, will occur, that will put both countries in a very awkward position. None of the countries, neither Turkey nor Egypt, can be seen as sitting on duck, and they have to retaliate any kind of, I will say, assault on their army or soldiers if such action will come through. Without an exit strategy, the right conditions for withdrawal are never apparent. At this moment, both countries' leaders are not making any room for an exit strategy. They only put their claims, and the claims at this moment are on the different sides of the table. They are not even, they don't have even a line that's close. They are really separated from each other. That's why it will take not short time, but at least some years for Turkey and Egypt to come close in the negotiation table. Both countries' economies are fragile. Compared to Turkey, Egypt has even severe at this moment economic problems. Increasing populations, declining economic activities, corruptions are main major reasons for Egypt's economy to come apart. Turkey has also problems. Like in Egypt, Turkey has at this moment a big democracy problem. Secondary, Turkey and Egypt, I can't say that because that's really at very low level, but there is a brain draining coming up. So the youngsters are really leaving the country, and leaving the country, I would say, educational quality in low level. And in decades, it will be a major threat to Turkey's economy if these youngsters will be lost. And this is the main reason is because of the democracy. Turkey is now lacking democracy. And the second is the corruption in Turkey is high, even getting worse and worse. And this, like in Egypt, is going to threat the Turkish economy in coming decade. Moreover, the economic activities, because of also the corona and other things that I have already mentioned, are now coming to the bottom line. So if both sides are going to put enormous effort on Libyan problem, their economies will be really hurt or damaged or disturbed badly. And this is in terms of any coming elections for both party leaders, including Erdogan and Sisi. It will create a big problem for or in the forthcoming, I will say, elections. But on the other hand side, this gives both leaders a tool that can play with. It's nationalism. So in order to protect the Turkish interests, Erdogan is going to use the Libyan problem in the elections for sure. And the same is also, I will say, acceptable or a tool for Sisi to use in the forthcoming elections. In order to survive or in order to continue with their administration, both leaders will not hesitate to use the Egyptian problem in future. Again, I am going to say that the Turkey and Egypt might confront each other in Libya for years to come. I don't believe it will be less than 10 years at this moment. But without an exit strategy, which has not been even set or implied or even meant, the right conditions for withdrawal are never apparent. And at this moment, it seems that both Turkey and Egypt will stay in Libya for years to come. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please, there is a like button underneath the screen. Please press on it. And also, if you subscribe yourself to our channel, we will notify you once we are going to publish a new video. Again, thank you for watching, and keep safe at home. Have a nice day. Bye.